Boom, we live there. I'm going to make sure we live everywhere before I even do anything. I'm just going to focus right here, get this done. Boop, we're going live there. Wait, yo, just waiting for Facebook. Now, let's hit our jingle.
CUTTHOAT.
It's the Cutthroat Radio
Podcast. CUTTHOAT.
Cutthroat
Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cutthroat Radio Podcast.
Back through here, I had to come back because earlier my sound went out and I felt like I just cheated my audience. So I don't want to do too much stuff over here on my table. I don't want to move around. I don't want to get too animated. Knocking the bottles is cool, the display and everything, but touching the equipment as I'm doing that, that's where we're having the problem. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm back in here. I'm going to go ahead and go through it again from the top. I don't own the rights to the music. We're going to play something out of my list here. Top of the evening to you is 5:35 p.m. October 18th, Friday. It's the weekend. Yay, it's the weekend. Fresh off to work. Had to come back, do a double back, and check with my audience to let everybody know it's all good. Sound, if you can hear the sound, let me know. 2 thumbs up. We here on YouTube. We here on Facebook. Yada die. Good evening to all. Yes, indeed. Thank you, everybody that's been supportive of the channel, YouTube, Facebook, my followers, my friends, my supporters, my super chats, my fans, my subscribers, my mods, everybody that's been a part of this, journey as far as podcasting, journalism, entertainment. I'm very appreciative of your support, of all your subscriptions, everybody that's out there participating, everybody, just anybody and everybody that's in tune. You ain't got to be nobody I know. Just thank you for the support. I appreciate it out there in the social media world, in the world we live in today. Thank you guys out there that's been very supportive. You know who you are. Big shout out to all of y'all out there. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Couldn't thank y'all enough. What's up? What's up? It's all good. Facebook, we here. Doing it again. Top of the evening. So basically, we're gonna start with being Black in America. That's number 1. Number 2, 3FingerWack 100 and Blue Da Vinci SafetyValve. That's number 2. Number 3 is the Boys&GirlsClub in Vallejo. The building was tore down, so we got to talk about that. That's number 3. That's some childhood memories right there. Number 4, week 6 and 7, football, NFL. Definitely got to go over that. I know I sound repetitive and I sound like I did it already to myself, but I got to do it again because my sound went out. So that's that. Then we're going to switch over here to, and this is week 7 right here. So we're going to talk about week 7. And then we're also going to go straight to number 5, basketball. We're going straight to basketball, NBA, number 5. Number 6, No Jumper podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about DB the General and the stuff that he was saying over there about the Mac Dre Mules and all of that. We're going to definitely talk about that and get going over there. Number 7, the federal sentencing guidelines for to qualify, the requirements to qualify for a safety valve. We're definitely going to talk about that. Definitely want to get into all of that. That's number 7. Number 8, busted by the feds, coincides with the safety valve shit that I'm talking about, and the Blue Da Vinci and the safety valve over there and the WAC 100 and all of that. Definitely going to talk about that. That's number 8. I got to get that book. That book costs $181 on Amazon. You got to pay for the game. October 9th, number 9, October 17th, 1989, the Bay Area was hit with a big quake. It's the Loma quake. And so we're going to talk about that. 6.9 on the Richter scale magnitude quake, hit about 5.04. We're going to talk about that. Number 9. Number 10, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is over there making goddamn robots, and I hope to God that we don't see John Connor and Skynet and the rest of that shit coexist here in the next future. But we're gonna definitely talk about that. That's number 10. Number 11, Yahya Sinwar. Yahya Sinwar is a terror leader over there, a Hamas terror leader. We're gonna talk about him. He was just killed. That's breaking news. So we're gonna talk about that. That's number 11. Let's go back to the top. You know I gotta like my Uwap the Blam on Ellis and Powell. You know what I mean? Blondies and them. This morning I started with a back. This morning I started with a backwood. This evening I'm going into a swisher so I can get through this, because if I smoke a backwood, I might not even get through the show. I might fall asleep during the show. Anyway. Oh, the weed falling out the blunt. Took a drag. Let's go to a clip. We're going to play the jingle one more time.
CUTTHOAT. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cutthroat Radio Podcast.
This is Cutthroat Radio Podcast updates, announcements, current events, and trending topics. 5:39 in the evening on October 18th, Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Fresh off to work, you know what I mean? Did my hours over there, came back so I can do my thing here, and then get out of here for the evening. Smoking on my Uwop the Blammo Ellison pal. I remember this one group called Crucial Conflict. They used to say, smoking on boop, boop, hey, but this ain't hey. And I ain't in the middle of no damn barn. So anyway, going about my business. We're going to play a little bit of this. Don't know my name. Hey, I own the rights to this. Nah, forget that. Fresh like a Tic Tac. I'm the Bay Iron Chef and cost more than a Big Mac. Eat at my table, you'll get more than a big snack. Sucker one, try me, you'll catch more than a big slap. The old messy bar. And I'm talking about click clack. 3 ninjas kick back, can't get you with my hands, and I'm pulling out a big strap. Started in the kitchen whipping gourmet good grub. Now you understand that my food sell like drugs. Infusing marijuana, good bug. Don't know his name, you can call him. They call me Chef. I am the chef. Don't know my name and you can call me. They call me Chef. Not a good look. Not a boy, I'm a man. Y'all tasting bland. I know that you're hungry, but you gotta wait a minute. Let me finish what I'm cooking, and then I'ma send it. Food I got plugged, moving like Uggs. Started in the kitchen whipping gourmet good grub. Now you understand that my food sell like drugs. Infusing marijuana with my food. Don't know his name. Call me. Yeah, they call me. I'm a rapper and a chef and do it at the same time. You nothing like me. I'm one of a kind. I had to double back, y'all. Music come natural like the streets to a crook. Mira. And I just keep getting better. Bars is all gas. Food I got plugs, moving like Uggs. Started in the kitchen whipping gourmet good grub. Now you understand that my food sell like infusing marijuana with my food. I see you. Don't know his name, then you can call me. Most people call me Chef Shabardi. Yeah. Don't know my name, then you can call on me. They call me Chef Shabardi. Don't know his name, you can call me. They call me Chef Shabardi. How you doing, Uncle Renard in the building? Yeah. Chef. Uncle Renard in the building. We just had to get the juices rolling and everything. You know how I do. It's in the evening time, Friday. You did what I'm saying. I want to double back in here because my sound went out earlier when I was doing my thing, and I don't want to touch nothing. So I got my sound. I don't want to make no mistakes, and I just want to just be cool. Be cool, baby. What the Mac say on the Mac? Be cool, baby. Be cool. I'm gonna be cool, baby. I don't want nothing to go wrong. I'm gonna be cool, baby. Be cool, baby. See that? I heard a little. As I'm trying to just make sure the volume is up just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so and all right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thugs and bitches, niggas and hoes, all the good shit. You know what I mean? We are here, Cutthroat Radio Podcast. Hope everybody having a blissful evening on this Friday. Hope everybody had a good week. It's the weekend. Let it all hang out. Go have a good time. Don't do too much partying because you got to do it all over again Monday. Before I go down the list, before I get going here, make sure if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go to my YouTube channel at Cutthroat Radio Podcast 807. It'll take you straight to the YouTube channel. Subscribe now. You'll get the latest and greatest. Hit that notification bell. You'll get everything that I upload immediately, instantly. You'll never miss a beat. If you do so, you become members of the chat. You do super chats. We do the mods. You get invited to all the extra shit that everybody else don't get to get. You dig what I'm saying? If you become a part of the members. So if you subscribe and you're part of the membership, then you become my mod and you're in the chats and you get all the links and you get all the good stuff. You get all the good stuff that the rest of the people just don't get. You get everybody else get the basic shit. And so I'm trying to, you build. You know how we do. You got to build the platform. I'm at 516 right now, subscribers. I know I should be at more than 22,000 or whatever the case may be. I should be at 17. I'm 4 years in. I should be at least 5,000 subscribers in, but that's okay. You gotta take the bitter with sweet. You gotta just roll with the punches. Anyway, number one. Let's just get straight into it. You don't want to spend too much time rambling. Number one, you can't be black in America. So I seen a clip. Didn't really get the names and everything because they didn't really disclose names and stuff like that. But it's the same sad old song. It's the same walking tune. It's the same beat. Black man walking down the street. He's harassed and taunted by two white men. The two white men, drew down on him with a gun, so on and so forth. The white man try to say the black dude had no business being there or whatever the case may be. You don't know who's who. You don't know what's what. You shouldn't assume anything. But in America, white people think they own the air. White people think they own, everything. So, but things have got to change in order for things to get better, in order for people to be treated equally, and for everybody to live in peaceful harmony. Things have to change. You have to change the Constitution. You have to rewrite the Constitution. You have to rewrite the Declaration of Independence. You have to give people the opportunity to do things that they didn't have the chance to do. I know that sounds cliche and it's a little bit, yeah, we do all of that now, but it's, you guys know what I'm talking about. Reparations is very, very much needed and all of the above. So it's just, people, the people that control and do the bigotry still and the racism and all of that, y'all know who y'all are. It's the people like you are that still, thinking that you could just, ask questions to anybody and everybody. Well, what if the roles were reversed? What if a white guy, some white random dude was walking in a black neighborhood and he was stopped by a couple of black dudes? You don't think he'd be scared to death? You don't think a situation to be, reversed and he'd have to fight for his life and things of that nature? I ain't saying that's what the black dude did with the white people, but when you draw down a gun, what do you expect the black dude to do? What do you expect the black man to do? You expect him to sit there and answer all the questions accordingly? Or you expect him to run? You expect him to, muscle, rustle, tussle, get shot, possibly? All of the above. What do you expect? You can't, if you call the police and report it to the police, they think that's a coward move. But if you're a civilian, that's not a coward move. You actually supposed to be calling somebody to serve and protect you. They might come to serve and protect and beat on you. They might not come and serve and protect you like you think. First and foremost, the police they coming to assess the situation, but it ain't like they gonna be on your side. Not necessarily. Being black in America, you pay a price. Let me go to my song here. I don't own the rights to the music, and I know they're gonna get me for this. I shouldn't even play the whole thing. I'm just gonna play a little snippet.
Allow me to introduce myself. Who knows what dastardly crime?
It's gotta be said. I can't hold this in. Not me.
They killed Andrew Brown. They shot him from afar. It was the bullet to the back of the head that hit him through the car that ended his life. Police shice. Being black in America, you will pay a price. And I just wanted to say that Derek Chauvin found guilty. He should get life for the crime, but the state of Minnesota is going to give him the less time. Dante Wright took a bullet. He was zapped with a laser. Kim Porter was the cop to mistake her gun for a taser. Micaiah Brown went down. 4 shots took her life. They getting rid of black people as if we was Bad Spice. I hate you fucking pilgrims, every last one in my area. Can't stand you racist bastards. Yeah, I'm talking to white America. You see where I'm going with that? You know, if you understand, you know, the situation, I come from the heart with shit like that because it's the truth. You know, being around that type of shit, it draws it out of you. And me being a vocalist or a rapper, if you will, you know, I started talking about that type of shit. Yeah, you know, I come from the slums, I come from the streets, but when I open my eyes and I start reading and I start educating myself out here, it's a whole different ball game. And I'm not fighting my brothers that's in the struggle. I'm fighting the system now. I'm fighting the oppressors, you know, that's been oppressing us for so. And I'm not here to preach, you know what it is. But yeah, it's just, you know, seeing that it brings all that out of you. You know, why are you harassing that young brother? You know, he ain't did nothing wrong. Just because he's walking down the street in the neighborhood you may live in, and he may live in too. He may reside there. You don't have to disclose that to you. Why is it always let me see your ID? No, nigga, let me see your ID. Do you live here? You know, you could be the one that's coming through here that don't live here, trying to portray you do, and be the motherfucker that break into a house. I'm just saying though, they could work twists. I'm just saying, I do got this little backwood doobie right here. Let me get my doobie out. Bop. Right. It's just, you know, you and I got a book. Like I said earlier, I know my sound went out earlier, and that's why I came back and double back. I got this book right here, Sundown Towns by James Lowen and James W. Lowen, and a hidden dimension of American racism. But he don't spell American the way I do. I spell American AmeriKKKa. You got to put the 3 Ks in there. Sundown Towns by John. I read the book. You know, I got my little cursor right here, my little marker. I get so far, and then I get so angry at what I'm reading. As you can see, I take notes in the book. The Great Retreat. I mean, you know, this book will have you tripping. They got photos, and let me just give a little bit. I don't want to give too much of the book. I know y'all got to go get the book and all of that good stuff. But I'm gonna just give y'all some hidden stuff in this book. I skip ahead, and sometimes I had to see this shit. I had to actually see this shit. It's called Negro Motorist Green Book. If you could catch that right there, Negro Motorist Green Book. This helps you. This helped black folk get through the South when they traveling through the South and everything. That book right there, you can do your research on that. This had me boiling seeing this shit in this book. Now we all know the racism in America. We all know it already. This is what really got me going right here. When I flip to this is nothing new. You see how this the white man shot up a church? That ain't nothing new. That's still going on today. Today. That's still going on today. Yes, it is. But these signs ain't. Look at these signs right here. What did it say right there? Let me read it. Niggers. N-word. Rephrase. N-word. Fuck that. Niggers, don't let the sun set on you in this town. Niggers, don't let the sun set on you in this town. You hear that shit? That's some bullshit. Nigger, this is Shepherdstown. God help you if the sun ever sets on you here. Wow. That's right there. You see that? All right, it's in the camera. You see that? Y'all see that? Ain't that something? Good God Almighty. And so, being black in America, you will pay a price. I'm just, I'm gonna get out of this book. I'm gonna get right out of this book and keep going. Sundown Towns. If you haven't picked up that book by James W. Lowen, you should pick that book up. It's a good read. But again, I want to warn you and caution you. That book will have you, gritting your teeth like motherfucker. And they say Sundown Towns is still around here. But let's keep going, transitioning on. Being black in America, you will pay a price. And I pray for the black brother out there that just got I just was seeing it on the what's the name show. And I should have cropped the clip. He was getting tased by 3 or 4 cops, and they was beating on him and everything while they was tasing him. I hope he. And then I seen another clip where another cop was at the school. He's a ex-cop or a retired cop, or he's a cop, but he's a substitute teacher. He was just with his knee on a student's neck, like George Floyd when he passed away. So they put him on administrative leave, and he got taken off the force and all that other stuff. And he's going through the necessary process. He might be convicted of the crime. He may not. We'll see. I forget where it was at, but I'll bring that later back to the show. Number 2, 3FingerWack, Blue Da Vinci, SafetyValve. So my cousin was doing his homework, and he stumbled upon. He was on the phone with and welcome home Big Meech. By the way, Big Meech comes home just yesterday or day before yesterday. But Big Meech went to the feds. Big Meech was on the phone with my cousin Diggss. Diggss was talking to Blue at the time, and then Meech called and buzzed in from what allegedly this is what Diggss had said, and this is what Blue confirmed. So it's a confirmation. He was on the phone. All 3 parties was on the phone. Diggss clicked over. He said, "I love the nigga Blue, but Blue is a rat." Diggss clicks back over, and he tells Blue that. And so all this transpired. So, but anyway, Blue gets out of jail. Wack 100 start fucking with him. And I guess Wack 100 was defending this nigga to the point where he got to dissing my auntie and my unalived, rest in peace, God forbid, cousin that's not here no more. He's unalived. And so it got real verbally nasty. It was a back and forth thing, but it really wasn't a back and forth with my cousin Diggss. It was more so loud talking Wack 100, 3FingerWack, what we call him. The Wackettes and Wack Sapiens were rah, 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 can you hear me now? And they was helping him. But now I think he feels stupid. And I know he owes us. I know he owes us for this. He owes the family for this. Nigga, you owe the fade and you owe a bag. Because you was absolutely wrong. We tried to warn you. We tried to tell you, and you didn't listen. You blocked me. Wack 100 blocked me on Instagram. I was going in on him. I was going so hard on him. He probably deleted the clip and everything. We was going back and forth. I was vocal, very vocal to him about my auntie and my unalived cousin. Very. I was giving it because, I'm the podcast or whatever. So I felt it was my place. I felt that I had to do something. You know what I'm saying? I know auntie don't do the damn thing. And I know cuz he, did what said what he said and everything like that. And the whole thing was Blue not having a paper party. The whole thing was about a paper party. The whole thing was about you disclosing what you debriefed about. The whole thing was about you showing your paperwork, bringing your paperwork to the party and letting everybody on social media see it at the exact same time. When Diggss asked Wack to go tell Blue to. He never disrespected Wack 100. My cousin never disrespected Wack 100 one time. Never said nothing slick. Now, after the fact, when you said all that shit about auntie and unalived cousin and Mac Dre, all the insinuations about the Mac Dre thing, he said Wack 100 was so nasty. He said this nigga Diggss had something to do with Mac Dre, unalived. Rest in peace, God forbid. We talking about Furrow. He said he poisoned his son for the insurance. He poisoned his son for the insurance. Wack 100, you owe, nigga. Wack, you owe. Somebody get this to Wack 100. Please get. I'm gonna crop it, send it to him. We'll get this shit to him. Wack 100 owe the family. You owe the family, my nigga. This is coming from Northern California. You owe. This ain't no podcast just running my mouth and I'm sitting behind the desk. Nigga, you owe the family. You owe the fade and you owe a bag for the shit you said. I don't give a fuck. Apology is not going to work, my nigga. You went overboard. And now look at your stupid ass. Now look at your retarded ass. And the Whack Sapiens and the Wackettes can't save you here on this show. Absolutely not. And you can't get me disqualified and canceled and taken down. Ain't nothing going to happen to me. You have got to see cuz. You have got to apologize with a fade and a bag. Nothing less. That was some sucker shit. And now that you know that Blue did debrief and he did take the safety valve, which we'll cover here on Cutthroat Radio Podcast this evening about the safety valve, you knew back then. See, I think it was a money play for you. And because the money play ain't working or something ain't going or y'all fell off or something ain't clicking, now it's he a rat. See, and that's what you do. See, that's what you do. That's exactly what you do. Okay. So at the end of the day, like I said, you owe the game, it's one thing to, this cuz and talk about cuz or whatever, but when you add Mac Dre all in and saying cuz had something to do with that, trying to, I don't care about all the SIGs, but when you put it in there in a sense of he was trying to do this, folks was telling you he was, trying to manipulate Mac Dre's daughter and all this other stuff. My nigga, listen. You owe, my nigga. You owe the fade and you owe a bag. Nothing more, nothing less. You got exposed, Blue. So Whack, I hope you don't think you was the one that exposed Blue, because the word came from Big Meech a long time ago that Blue had debriefed and he did the safety valve. And then J-Bo from BMF and everybody confirmed that. And then the paperwork should have came out, but the paperwork didn't come out because he didn't come to the party with the paperwork. It's supposed to be a paperwork party. Can you say that 3 times? Paperwork party, paperwork party, paperwork party. And so safety valve. So in order to get this safety valve, you got to qualify. It's 5 things you qualify in order to get the safety valve. We're going to break that down. That's actually number 7. We're going to break that down. We're going to skip all the way to number 7 to get that over here. So let me just get the meat and potatoes out real quick. So I guess now all of a sudden I don't got the clip. I don't even care about the clips or none of that, because you can go online and you can listen to the clips on your own. YouTube. And so now I guess Whack 100 is going back and forth with niggas online talking about Blue Da Vinci is the police. He talking to the Whack Sapiens and the Wackettes about Blue being the rat, about Blue in his paperwork. Well, here's the thing, because I did this on my show when all of this boiled out and all of this spilled out and you was disrespecting my cousin and all that. I did it on my show talking about nigga no, and I clipped everything. Remember? If y'all remember, I clipped everything. We listened to everything live. We listened to how this nigga said what he said about my auntie Betty, and how he talked about Duda. And when he went and it struck a nerve. It struck a nerve to the point where I was following Whack 100 on social media, and then I was, I got to trolling him every second I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really got to trolling him. Bitch this, bitch that. Excuse, I hope they don't cancel me for saying that. I got it the nigga foul because the nigga got to saying this, that, and the third about Auntie Betty and Duda. And when you got to doing that, I'm like, oh, whoa. So I said what I said. They was arguing. They weren't even arguing. Blue was talking about whatever he was talking about, and then he mentioned how Jay Diggss had got at him on the record or whatever the case may be. It just came up in an interview that Blue was having, and so when I got wind of that and I seen that, I instantly cropped that and I sent that to Herc. I said, Herc, man, this nigga got his name. You got your name in his mouth. Foul play, bro. What the fuck is this about? Herc, he boop boop boop, say what he do what he do, and now it's confrontation back and forth. Podcast niggas is jumping on podcasts and getting the views over there, getting the views over there. And I'm wondering, damn, I done gave this nigga Diggss the goddamn shit. This nigga didn't even come to my show. This nigga didn't even come to my show with this shit. But I'm the one that fed you this shit, right? I'm thinking to myself, damn, cuz ain't okay, no sweat. Keep it pushing. I can't trip off that. I got to keep going with my show. But I would have loved to get them views and everything, especially because I was the one that tipped you off about Blue running his mouth. But that's beside the point. Blue was on there talking reckless about Diggss because Diggss got word and confirmation from Big Meech, which just came home from federal prison, about Blue taking the safety valve. He clicked over and said, "I love you." Well, this is and I quote. Diggss clicked over to Big Meech. He said, "I love Blue, but that nigga's a rat." Diggss clicked back over and delayed the message to Blue, and it went from there. Then Diggss Cuzzo ended up putting Blue in the rapography, blah blah blah. Other songs or whatever the case may be, and so now because of these songs, Blue feeling some type of way. The BMF thing hit the thing and all of this other stuff. Diggss, he ran with the BMF team and all of that. At one point, all of that. And so, like I said, Blue, I'm just getting my train of thought. Blue was on the internet talking about Diggss. And so now when that transpired, Diggss get on the catch wind of it, courtesy of Shop, and he jump on the NoJumpers. He go on the NoJumpers, and I guess he talking to the NoJumpers about the paper party, a party. Bring your paperwork to the party. Well, Blue never brought his paperwork to the party, and it sounded like from the jump, it was so much tension and animosity, so it erupted. The Whack Sapiens and the Wackettes and all of that. Can you hear me now? And Blue, the Blue Da Vinci kind of got pushed out of the way of the conversation, and Whack 100 just took off and rah to Diggss. And all Diggss was kept saying was just all we want is the paperwork. Man, I know how to, if I'm wrong, blase, with do. I have to, I made my bed, I lay in it. Well, it got all the way up until this point right now. Right now, it got so extreme. Now that Big Meech is coming home, it's now Whack is just kind of like, I guess Whack flipped it or Whack not fucking with Blue no more or something. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. But what I do know is that nigga Whack 100 the family. Dissing folks very extremely. He owe more than a personal apology. He owe a fade, and that's just where I'm at with it. He owe a fade. He owe a bag. And now we're gonna talk about the part where Blue Da Vinci and that safety valve. So in order for Blue Da Vinci to be qualified and be granted the safety valve, he had 5 classifications or 5 steps he had to go through. And they say Hustler from the Mob Figures also took a safety valve. I don't know how true that is. I didn't see no paperwork, and I'm not putting that on him. I just said that's hearsay speculation here on the show. I did hear that, though, that Hustler from the Mob Figures took a safety valve. In order to get that safety valve, let's read that. The federal sentencing guidelines. To meet the requirements for a safety valve, you must meet all the requirements for such safety valve in the feds. Number 1, no one was harmed during the offense. That's number 1. No one can be harmed. Not one person. Nothing. Not a bug, not a crumb, not a rabbit, not a squirrel. Nothing can be harmed. Not an animal. Not an ant, not a roach, nothing. Number 2, the person has little or no history or excuse me, let me say that again. The person has little or no history or criminal convictions. That's number 2. Number 3, the person did not use violence or a gun. Number 4, the person was not a leader or organizer of such offense or criminal activity. The person told, and this is the meat and potatoes on this whole entire thing right here. Because this is where you have to debrief. This is where the debrief come in. To meet this, you have to meet all 5 requirements. You can't miss one. The person told the prosecutor all that he or she knows about the offense. All. Everything. And it has to be facts. It has to pan out for it to be granted. If you give any false statements and they find out you was lying, they're going to get you for that. And so, with that being said, because we know the guidelines for the safety valve now, somehow, some way, blew Vinci, and whoever took that safety valve for that matter, if you got co-defendants. Now, let's break this down. Having co-defendants in a safety and taking the safety valve gets very, very serious and very tricky, because if you take a safety valve, you pleading on the other defendants. And so the other defendants on your case is looking at you like, hey, what are you doing? And it could be this. It could be you was the one that didn't do nothing. You was the one that ain't never had no criminal history. You ain't the mastermind. And you know, but you got to tell everything that you was involved in regardless. So you meet the requirements of the federal safety valve guideline. But do you want to take that federal safety guideline? Because now you got to roll over on everybody. You got to tell on all the co-defendants involved in the case. And that's what happens. The court will use the sentencing guidelines and the person a sentence below the mandatory minimum. For example, 3 years in prison instead of the 5. So they'll knock 2 off. And the feds, they don't sentence you by years or nothing like that. They give you the months. So, you know, 60 months, 5 years, 120, 10 years, so on and so forth. So they knock off the time. You can't just get the safety valve either. You got to be granted that by the federal U.S. Prosecutors and judge, a grand jury, and all that other stuff is involved. So it's like I said, there's complications behind this. Anyway, let's keep it going. Number 3, excuse me. Transitioning on. I want to play my jingle real quick. Let me get my jingle real fast. Transitioning on. Shit. I want to play the jingle. They ain't even set up for the jingle.
CUTTHOAT. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cutthroat Radio Podcast.
In the evening, doing what we do here on Cutthroat Radio Podcast. I am your host, and you know, we here. Shy Rizzle. You know what I mean? Anyway, number 3, Boys and Girls Club. The building was just tore down. I was watching that on Facebook the other day. I was like, oh man, childhood down the drain. Yeah, in Vallejo, they tore it down, and I guess it's gonna be used for elite school. They're gonna turn it into something for the kids out there. The property and the land was purchased by the school, so there you have it. But you know, people like E40 and them, you know, wish they could, you know, E40s, the CC Sabathias. I ain't just gonna, you know, pitch their names like they the only ones, but I'm just saying folks like them with money or with a name like that could have probably done something. I ain't saying they should have, or whatever the case may be. It would have been a good look, but nonetheless, it got tore down. Generations were raised at the Continentals of Omega Boys and Girls Club. We called it the Ninnels. We shortened Continental for Ninnels. And we used to have parties there, dances there. That's what Dre kind of like, if you real want to, you know, Hogan and Continentals is where he kind of like, you know, took off with his music. So It's saturated with so much history, not just the music. It's just, just kids growing up in that club, learning how to read, write, learning how to play sports, learning how to have fun, learning to, interact with other folks, learning how to be a kid at the time. You got in trouble, you got your ass whooped there. They disciplined you there, all of the above, study hall, computer lab, snack, all of that, man. The Continental Honor, together we stand, divided we fall, all for one, one for all. Mr. Fillmore Graham, all of that stuff, man. Like, just, it's wow, wow. All of that, man. Just, the building is no more, though. I'm pretty sure it's all gone now. The other day it was like halfway gone or 80% gone. So I'm pretty sure it's 100% tore down now at this point. So I don't know what, like I said, I've heard to the grapevine, Elite School is going to turn it into something for the kids there now. Hopefully it's something, that will bring, activities for kids and teach them to, be successful in life, give them job training skills, learning how to, fill out resumes, learn how to read applications, learning how to go to interviews, do actual interviews right there at the place. Just, state of the art stuff, having all of the computer, whatever at your fingertips, the internet at your fingertips, because that's where we're at now. Things of that nature. Hopefully they have a gym in there so, kids could actually play their sports. Hopefully they build the baseball fields didn't get touched. If they did, hopefully they rebuild one or two so that way, the kids can still play baseball out there and everything like that. Because we, in that area, the Boys and Girls Club area, it was a lot of different activities to do out there. And I remember being a kid and a young teenager playing all out there, wee hours of the day, wee hours of the night. So definitely, so many different generations was raised in the Omega Boys and Girls Club. Definitely, so, and the thing about it is they tore down that photo that Mr. Graham had painted inside the club. Hopefully somebody got that, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. Graham face was in the middle, and then the 6 boys, 3 on this side, 3 on this side. And that's all. But I got that. I saved it. I got it when I did the remembrance on my show here when I was at the other lab or the other office space. I had did a remembrance for Fillmore Graham, and I had cropped that and put it in the flyer and made sure I kept that in the flyer and did all of that. So the remembrance. We had Monty, which is Mr. Fillmore Graham's, rest in peace. God forbid, rest in peace to Mr. Fillmore Graham. I had Monty, his son, here on the show. We zoomed. I had his daughter, as she was on the channel with us. She zoomed. We were just, remembering their father, and basically a father to us all, and definitely a mentor to all of us from the Continentals of Omega Boys and Girls Club. Rest in peace to Mr. Fillmore Graham. Wish we could have kept that building. It definitely needed a makeover. It definitely needed to get some paint, plywood, some, get a new structure foundation, get some plywood over there, get some paint, some nails, and get going and rebuild. It definitely needed a makeover. But nonetheless, it's gone now. Childhood down the drain. Transitioning on, week number 6, football. And the scores is this. I already went through this, but I again, my sound went out earlier when I was here in the morning. I had to go to work. I said I'm gonna double back just because the sound went out, and I just got to get through this. It's nail biting as it is for me. It's painful. But anyway, week 6 football, NFL scores, injuries, trades, whatever notes I got. 49ers versus Seahawks. We got the win right there. We all know that, 36-24. Jags versus the Bears. And the Bears walked away with that, 35-16. Commanders versus the Ravens. Ravens walked away with that, 30-23. Browns versus the Eagles. Eagles walked away with that, 20-16. Buccaneers versus the Saints. The Saints, I call them the Aints. The Bucks walked away with that, 51-27. Texans versus the Patriots. The Texans walked away with that, 41-21. And these were actual picks that I do before, and I could show you what I'm talking about because I had picked. This is week 7 right here. We're getting ready to read. I had did my picks already on that, and I picked all the teams that I think will win week 7. So we're gonna talk about that anyway. I was on Patriots and Texans. The Texans walked away with that, 41-21. The Colts versus the Titans, 20-17. The Titans walked away with that. Cardinals versus the Packers. Packers walked away with that, 34-13. Raiders versus the Steelers. Steelers walked away with that, 32-13. Adams was traded to the Jets for a bag of Doritos and a WIC voucher to go to Circus in Las Vegas. Failure Nation. And let me read this real quick. Colonel Sanders, Shador Sanders, Jabberwocky dancers. It don't matter who y'all pick. You're not going to the playoffs this season. You're not going to the playoffs next season. Let's keep it rolling. Y'all failed Devontae Adams. You have failed Max Crosby. Antonio Pierce has failed y'all. Mark Davis has failed y'all. And anybody else that causes problems over with the Raiders has failed y'all. Vontae Wright, my little cousin, he failed y'all. Brandon Wright, he failed y'all because they all Raider fans. And the rest of you Raider Failure Nation fans out there, Terrence over there, my cousin Terrence, he failed the nation. The nation failed him. Y'all nothing but a bunch of failures. Failure Nation. Let's keep going, though. Chargers versus the Broncos, 23-16. Harbaugh missed the Chargers start with an illness. Panthers versus the Falcons. Falcons walked away with that 38-20. Lions versus the Cowboys. We know what that score was, 47-9. The Cowboys got the blood beat out of them. I don't know why y'all re-signed Ezekiel Elliott. That's stupid. I don't know why y'all won't fire John McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, excuse me. And I don't know why on God's green earth y'all ain't put Jerry Jones in the ground yet. What is going on? You paid Dak Prescott all that money to laugh at y'all with smirk on his face because he's secure. Ain't nothing gonna happen. He gonna get the bag. He got the bag regardless. Y'all paid him already. You paid. He can't produce. Let the Lions drag them all over the field. Damn, at home. Good Lord Almighty. Yeah, y'all got problems. Y'all got issues. Y'all shouldn't have paid Dak Prescott all that money. And y'all shouldn't have definitely not re-signed Ezekiel Elliott. Y'all did no trading or none of that in the offseason. Absolutely nothing in the offseason to help your team. You didn't. Anyway, the Cowboys, Cowgirls, Whack Prescott and the Cowgirls. That's what I call them. Let's keep going, though. Lions lose Hutchinson for the rest of the season. He broke his leg, caused by his own teammate. So they collided. The leg kind of wrapped around the other leg, and it was gruesome. It was nasty. He going to miss the whole season. Let's go here. Bengals versus the Giants, 17-7. The Bengals walked away with that. Bills versus the Jets. The Jets walked away with that 23-20. That was a damn good game. And then the buys for that week, even though the buys are over with, Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, and Vikings. Let's just go to number 4 on this section real quick right here. Week number 7, Thursday Night Football. We seen that was yesterday on the 17th. Broncos versus the Saints. Broncos walked all over the Aints, 33-10. I actually picked the Broncos to win that. Sunday games, 6 o'clock, 6:30 a.m. games, Patriot versus the Jags. I got the Jags to win that. 10 o'clock games, Seahawks versus the Falcons. I got the Falcons to win that. The Titans versus the Bills. I got the Bills to win that. The Bengals versus the Browns. I got the Bengals to win that. Texans versus the Packers. I'm going with the Texans on that game, even though that's going to be a good game. And Jordan Love has been playing awesome. Dolphins versus the Colts. I'm going with the Colts there. Tua Tagovailoa is out of he gone. I don't know if he's still playing. Lions versus the Vikings. I want to say the Lions because they whooped all over the the Cowgirls and Whack Prescott, but the Vikings are playing really good. And Sam Darnold beat the blood out of us, so I'm going to go with the Vikings. Eagles versus the Giants. I'm going to go with the Giants, but I know the Eagles are going to win. I'm still going with the Giants, though. 1 o'clock games. Raiders versus the Rams. Rams, I'm going to take the Rams. I am not going to jinx myself, and I'm not going with the Raiders, so I'm going with the Rams there. Panthers versus Commanders. And as a matter of fact, just so we clear, I'm going to always go with the opposite team against the Raiders because I don't want to jinx myself and my team no more. Panthers versus the Commanders. I'm going with the Commanders there. KC versus the 49ers. If the refs don't cheat, we could win the game. But of course, I'm going with the gang. I ain't going to go with KC. Fuck KC. The Jets versus the Steelers. I got the Steelers to win that. Monday night games, as 2 of them. Ravens versus the Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks there. Chargers versus the Cardinals. I'm going to go with the Cardinals there in the 2 buys. Bears and the Cowgirls. That's the NFL for this week. We'll catch back up with y'all on the extra stuff. Number 5, NBA. The team that I'm focused on this season in the NBA, the Bulls, and once again, the Bulls. I don't care about nothing else, but I am going to bleed the other teams. These are the other teams I'm going to bleed to death. I'm going to bleed the fake show. I'm going to bleed the Sacramento Fiends, and I'm going to bleed the Golden State Failures. Now, the Golden State Failures are looking good. I'm still going to bleed them out. Don't care. Bulls, preseason record right now, 2-2. We got Cleveland tonight. Actually, matter of fact, we already playing right now. We started at 5. Fake show. They're 1-2. I don't know their record right now, but when I wrote this, it was 1-2. So we'll see what their record is later on. Sacramento Fiends. I know they record was 0-4. They ain't won the game yet, and that was in preseason. The Golden State Failures. I looked the other day. They was 5-0, looking good, but I'm still gonna talk about them. I'm gonna bleed them out as soon as they start losing. The Bulls versus the Tims. We walked away with that win. Like I said, that made us 2-2, 125 to 123. This is preseason. I'm just talking. I'm just getting going. Just fired up, getting going. Because they know my team. I get a lot of smoke from my team because the Bulls ain't shit. And we all know that. I know that, but I still root for my team because I ain't gonna never give up. I ain't gonna never give in. I ain't gonna never cave in. Still my team. We look good too because Lonzo Ball back on the court. Levine is back on the court with him. They playing off each other. Kobe White doing his thing off them three. I mean off them two. You got Osumo out there. He wasn't playing, but he played. Patrick Willis was out there. Thank God. We lost Drummond. We lost Caruso, but that's okay. We still got people out there. Vukovic is doing his thing. I can't get the new dude name. I can't get it off the top of my head right now. But we good. We good. We should be able. We need some bigs though. We need a couple of bigs out there. So we'll see if we get some bigs. But that's okay. We're doing our thing. Right now, Detroit, us, Indiana, Milwaukee, Cleveland is the standings right now. But it's just preseason. That's the standings right now as is. Detroit, the Chicago Bulls, Indiana, Milwaukee, and then Cleveland in the Eastern Conference where I'm at. So. Yeah, that's all my notes there. That's it on the NBA this week. I'll get back to you guys with more on the NBA. Here we go. Number 6. Now I got the meat. That's some meat and potatoes here. DB the General on the NoJumpers podcast. He had been addressed this a long time ago, a few years back, about a situation. He was using Mac Dre. Now, do y'all think he was wrong for using Mac Dre and the Jackass mural or face or whatever on his album cover and he was doing it out of respect. He was paying homage. It wasn't like he was dissing Mac Dre whatsoever. And he said that numerous of times, genuinely said it. But other folks from the Crest, the Cuddies, one particular Cuddy took it, a certain way, took it wrong, and he addressed him and told him that he couldn't use the Mac Dre thing and all of that. And so once he did that, DB the General went off the deep end. I assume words were exchanged back and forth, and here we are today. Now that was old or whatever on another podcast or another situation on the internet. Fast forward, DB the General was just speaking about it, or he was asked a question from Adam22 on No Jumper podcast about that incident or about the situation about using the Mac Dre face and all of that. And DB the General once again broke it down. But when he was breaking it down, he had some vicious words to describe the Cuddy. And I just felt like, that's childish. I mean, you could say how you feel, whatever the case may be. You can express how you feel. You say what you want to say, but I mean, is that a play to, get, big fish, big mouth bass, a nigga, and really men, because you got another play to go with that play. Are you causing problems for a reason? Which I mean, the issue is if you got a problem, go address it with a person that you got the problem with. Get all on the internet and get all the, it's a play, to get views up. You trying to get relevant again or something like that. I don't know. I really don't know. It's so many different versions to this that I could, spill here on the show. But do you think he was paying respects though? I mean, honestly, I don't feel, and this is me personally, I don't feel like he did anything disrespectful. And he said it. But after, I guess, addressing the Cuddy about, him not being able to use Mac Dre and put him on a album cover or whatever the case may be, DB the General went off and said, "Oh, nigga, if I can't use Mac Dre on then nigga, why Mac Dre get to use all the murals in Oakland? Nigga, I'm taking all these murals and spray painting them or covering up or whatever. And if that's the case, that I think that's again more childish behavior or more, not really thinking it through to deal with the person that you got an issue with about something that they said to you. I don't think going to the Mac Dre mural is going to um go smooth over, and also I don't think that it's going to benefit in a way to give you notoriety or make you feel like you some type of hot shot or some big bad dude or whatever the case may be, because out your own mouth you said you respect the game, you got love for Mac Dre, and none of the murals have been touched, by the way. But it just, for you to say that is just you just talking reckless to have something to say or to get something going to spark the conversation, which I'm doing here on my show. But I'm the podcast host, I'm the podcast owner, so I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna bring it here to my show, and that's kind of funny to me. It's kind of funny to me because Mac Dre mural is not just in Oakland. Mac Dre got a mural in Sacramento. Mac Dre got a mural out there in Vallejo. A few of them in Vallejo. A few of them in Oakland, all around. A few of them in Frisco, all around. Like they all around. It's a few Mac Dre murals out here. You know what I'm saying? So you can't sit there and just do, I guess, the Oakland murals if that's the case. But again, it's even thinking about it, it's real childish. It's not nothing that should be even mentioned when you're dealing with what you're dealing with a person. You got something going on with the cuddy, you should just address the cuddy for how he came at you. Not, oh, if I can't use Mac Dre. Well, then nigga, he can't use none of the walls in Oakland. Do you own any of them walls in Oakland? Do you own any of the property that's Dre's faces on? I can see if you own the building or something like that, and a motherfucker put Mac Dre on your building, and okay, there you go. But you don't own none of that property. So if they allowed that to happen, and then you go spray paint the face up or tag the face after you said you was gonna do that, and you do it, then now you got a whole different issue and a whole different ball game. People are gonna come at you like, no, wait a minute now. You're doing this to my building, and I allowed this to happen. Now you just fucked over this artwork. So now we got an issue. The owner of that building gonna have an issue with you. It's gonna be a problem. It's a rippling effect in the water, a problem. I don't think, he got issues like that, though. I don't think DB the General is like that. The way he was talking to Adam 22 on the podcast, he basically just was saying, man, this dude told me what I can't do, and that was not cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just paraphrasing. I'm just putting it in my own words. Told me it wasn't cool and all this other stuff. So, I'm taking it face value, and now I'm gonna say what I need to say. I think it's right here on my show, I think it's a misunderstanding. I think it just needs to be aired out, talked about without the social media and without any rustle tussle muscle or whatever. And if it can't get aired out, then do what you got to do as men. Do what you got to do as men, but leave the murals out of it. You ain't got to spray paint Mac Dre mural because you can't use Mac Dre because somebody told you can't use Mac Dre face. You just leave them out of it. Do what you do with the cuddy, but leave Mac Dre shit out of it. I don't know you. I don't know your music. I ain't never listened to your music. I've heard this, that, and the third. It's all hearsay and speculation. I don't know your character. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know anything about you. I've watched your podcast interviews that you've done. I've listened to how you address situations that you've had with folks, and I've heard to the grapevine that you had problems in Oakland and all this other stuff. It's none of my, again, I'm not going to expose nothing that I don't know, and I don't know nothing about you, so I'll leave it at that. But I did hear the hearsay and speculation, and it don't sound, like it's a good hearsay and speculation. It sound like, you on some sucker shit. But again, that's hearsay speculation. I don't know. And we talked about the number 7. We talked about the federal sentencing guidelines. I just put it right there so that way I give myself room to write. Anyway, keep going. Keeping it going. 3, 4, 5. 4, 5 right there. 6, 7, 8. And speaking on the feds and all of that, we was talking about the federal sentencing guidelines for the safety valve to get a safety valve or to qualify for a safety valve. The Busted by the Feds is a book that I'm gonna pick up. That book costs $181 off of Amazon, and I was like, damn, I sent it to the cuddy when one of the cuddies told me about it. I was like, damn, cuddy, this shit $180. He was like, yeah, nigga, the game cost. I said, oh man, you got me there. But I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna take a stab at it. I'm definitely gonna read it. It looked like it's a good read. The cuddy said it's a good read, so I'm definitely gonna read it. Heard it's a good read, so I'm gonna get it. But I don't have the money right this second. But you know, if you want to donate, you want to cash app, you want to super chat me to help me get that book, please do so by hitting the bing 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 bing, the little stars right there, and you can hit the little love right there, and it also has the little plus sign where you can get, you know, hit me and send me super chats. So you know, I'm getting monetized. I'm monetized on all my platforms. So all you got to do is just hit the little super chats and the mods, you know, send the money, ching 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 ching. I really want to get that book. So if y'all can help me get that book, that'd be dope. Let's just keep going though, transitioning on.
C-U-T-T-H-O-A-T. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. C-U-T-T-H-O-A-T. Cutthroat Radio Podcast. C-U-T-T-H-O-A-T. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. C-U-T-T-H-O-A-T. Cutthroat Radio Podcast.
Chia. Yesterday, 1989, October 17th, Loma, Prieta, however you say it, Prieta, earthquake hit the Bay Area, magnitude 6.9. I was a kid, 1989. This was October. I just turned 6. I was 6 years old when this happened. My birthday is March 5th, 1983. And so by well off by October, I was 6 years old when this happened. 5:04 p.m., 31 minutes before game 3 of the World Series between the A's and Giants was set to start. I was 6 years old. 6 years old when this earthquake hit. I either was on Tuolumne Street with my grandma. I'm trying to remember which one it was, or I was in the Crest. And I think we was in the Crest because I think I remember seeing that it was a hill when you go to Red Top Road, coming down to the Crest from Red Top Road. It was a hill that went over like this. Now today the hill sits in like this. We went up there and we seen that shit. We was like, God damn, that shit was when we was little. Back in the day, they used to say that the Zodiac killer used to be up there killing. We didn't believe that. What we believe, well, we bad kids. So let me just get this right off the bat. The Zodiac killer was gonna have a problem trying to come get Crest kids. There was no way that Zodiac killer was gonna obtain any one of us as a kid and get away with it. We was 1,000 deep outside, right? It was drug infested. And so let the Zodiac, just picture this in the Crest in the 80s and going into the 90s. Just picture the Zodiac trying to take one of the kids outside. Nigga, that Zodiac ain't even gonna take the kid. The Zodiac nigga gonna come back with the kid and just, I took the wrong kid. Here go your kid back. Bye. They gonna pay for it. Listen, I got all them. If y'all don't, I will give y'all $200 if y'all take this kid back. I had the wrong kid. The Zodiac killer is saying this because you got the wrong kids in the Crest. We were that bad. We were stealing out of stores at the age. I was already stealing out of stores. I was already a thief at the age of 6. I was a thief and a good one at that. Anyway, 1989. Wow. And my mama died in 1989. So 1989, September of 89, that's when I lost my mom. And so moms wasn't even alive when this happened. When the quake hit, moms was already dead. Damn, I didn't even realize that. Let me wow. That just slowed me up a little bit, y'all. Jesus. Let me go here. That just slowed me up just right now. All right, let me just get it together. Where Ma's at? You're supposed to say moms, but Ma's. Here we go. So September 15th, 1989. Yeah. Yep, moms and them had passed September 5th, 1989. So October 17th, she hadn't even been dead a year yet. She was only dead for a month. My mom was dead for a full month, 33 days, if you will. And the day that the October 17th, when the quake hit. Shit. Damn, you grow up and you don't even fucking realize the shit. That's how close this shit was. Look, Mom's died September 15th, 1989. The quake happened October 17th, 1989. A fucking month. Shit. I wonder if her body like kind of wiggled in the ground and all of that. Where my brain at? Anyway, rest in peace, Moss. We love you. We still you already know what it is, Dad. You know what it is, Mama. Anyway, 63 people unalived, more than 3,700 hurt, and 10 billion in damages happened in 1989. And this happened in the Bay Area. For those that ain't familiar with the Bay Area history of the earthquakes and everything, this happened in the Bay Area, the Greater Bay of Oakland, San Francisco, Vallejo, and all the other cities, surrounding cities. This happened in 1989. So, wow, this is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, transitioning on, man. And the people that passed away, my condolences to the people. Back then, I didn't know 63 people had passed away. God forbid. More than 37 was hurt. We didn't get injured. We broken glass, and we felt it. We felt that 6.9 magnitude on the Richter scale. That whole Greater Bay was shooken up. That whole Vallejo, everybody was shook from this. The bridge, the Cypress Bridge in Oakland collapsed. The Bay Bridge collapsed. People fell in the water. Cars fell in the water in the Bay. This shit happened in the Bay Area. Fucked everything up. Nigga, Frisco was on fire. It almost was a reenactment of the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco, where it leveled South San Francisco. That earthquake, and there's still ashes out there. The foundations that laid out there now with them houses and everything, people ashes and bodies are still in them houses to this day. Probably the same thing in Oakland. I know the Cypress Bridge broke down. All right, crumbled and broke into pieces. I wonder why Jay Stalin don't never say that. He always talk about 10th Street. I wonder why he don't never talk about that earthquake and the way that it damaged everything around there. And he probably was affected by that too, him and his family. Because I know we was, but we didn't like lose like anything like very bad like other folks and families have during earthquakes, in that earthquake specifically. But again, my heart fixed. Wow. And it was 31 minutes before the A's and Giants started the game 3 of the World Series. They hadn't even started yet, and the quake took off. And that's when, matter of fact, they didn't even play after that. They evacuated the stadium and all of that. That shit was like terrible. That shit was crazy. 1989, and Banks was being robbed. Yep. Banks was being robbed. Yes, it was. Crack was being sold, and Banks was being robbed. And the feds had not a clue. Don't have a clue. They didn't have a clue, boy. Still didn't have a clue to this day. Elon Musk, what the fuck are you doing with the robots? So what's going on with the robots, Eli? This is number 10. We on number 10. We're going to get out of here. After this is number 11. We out of here. Eli Musk, what is going on with the robots, dude? I really need to know. Are we getting ready to turn into the future with John Connor and Sarah Connor and Skynet and all this other shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, Are you making T-1000s out there? Are you making Terminators out there? Do we need to strap up and get ready for this war? Because that's what's going to happen. You make all these fucking robots mass produced, and then these motherfuckers going to turn on you and start killing everybody. And you the motherfucker that made them. So I guess you're Skynet. We're going to call you Skynet. Or are you John Connor, Sarah Connor's son? What are you, Eli? We need to stop Eli Musk. We need to stop this shit. And it does look like you're copying Will Smith's idea from iRobot. That looks a little obvious there, bro. It looks like you don't even have your own type of thought there. It looks like you just looked at the movie and said, you know what? I'm finna actually make the robot, and went out there and made the robot. Now, they say the robot is pleasing or could please the human. Now, I don't understand how the fuck they even know this to even say this on my fucking show. But they say the robot can please a human better than a human can please the human. I said to myself, how is that even possible when he just made the fucker? He just made the robot eight minutes ago, and it could fuck better than a goddamn man? Wow. What was Eli thinking when he made the robot fuck better than a man then? Like, what the fuck was he thinking when he put that robot to fuck? I'm just trying to just figure this out. Please help me. Help me, y'all. I need answers. I really need answers. This nigga made a robot that can fuck better than him. Like, what was he thinking? The robot can make a man come faster than a female. Like, why is that the trending thing? Celebrities got the robot. They talking to the robot already and everything. I said to myself, this shit is crazy. Skynet. We in Skynet. Pretty soon, these robots are gonna turn and they gonna kill, and that's it. That's it. That's it. That is it. Celebrities got the robot already, and they waiting on the robot like it's Jordan's. I got my robot. You got a robot? Yeah, nigga. I just got my robot the other day. This motherfucker do everything, my nigga. I can't wait to turn this motherfucker on. It's like, nigga, what? A robot? Eli. This shit crazy. Terminator is on the way. Mark my words. Mark my fucking words. The Terminator is on the way. Shit. Anyway, oh man, we got this terrorist out there. Gaza was going through it out there. Gaza and Hamas was going through it with the terror leader, Yahya Sinwar. Yahya Sinwar was killed in Gaza, Israel, officials say. Self-explanatory here. This guy is the leader of a terror group. Lack of a better term, his kids should be locked up and or terminated, executed, and ridiculed and rid of. Hopefully, the rest of his relatives are taken into custody because he do not need to have more like him. They killed him. They got him. They blew him up and serves him right for being a fucking leader of a terrorist group or whatever he was, a leader of organizing the terror people. Hamas is thankfully appreciated of being relieved of this terror leader right here, Yahya Sinwar, Yahya, the way they say it, Yahya Sinwar was killed. So thank God for that. I know I'm hacking at his name. Yahya Sinwar. It's YAHYASINWAR. Sinwar. This shit crazy. But anyway, they got him. That's it. I just wanted to double back because the sound went out earlier to make sure y'all catch the sound on this. So basically, we go to the top. Let me hit you with the jingle.
CUTTHOAT. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. It's the Cutthroat Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cutthroat Radio Podcast.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't want to rush the music. You already know that. I'm getting all of that situated. But anyway, It's the evening, 6:48 in the evening, October 18th on this Good Friday. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody having a good week going into the weekend. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks everybody for the subscriptions and all the subscribers, the mods, the chats, the super chats, all of the gifts, everything, the cash apps. I appreciate all of that out there. Very much appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the show, please go to at Cutthroat Radio Podcast 807. You can subscribe to the show right now and go to YouTube. Do so right now. Hit the subscription button and the notification bell. You'll get all the latest and greatest and everything that I'm doing. All my music, all the chef shit, everything. Chef Shabar D, Cutthroat Radio Podcast. All of that is up there. Subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Everything is appreciated. Everything is much love, man. I appreciate it. I can't do it without y'all. If y'all ain't tuned in and watching, I'm not gonna be here. So it's up to y'all, man, and I need y'all. I need the support. We talked about number one being black in America. You will pay you will pay for it. You will pay to being black in America. Derek Chauvin found guilty. He should get life for the crime, but the state of Minnesota gonna give him the less time. Dante Wright took a bullet. He was zapped with a laser. Kim Porter was the cop to mistake her gun for a taser. Micaiah Brown went down. 4 shots took her life. They getting rid of black people as if we was bad spice. I hate you fucking pilgrims, every last one in my area. Can't stand you racist bastards. Yeah, I'm talking to white America. Spelled with 3 Ks. We talked about it. Number 2. Whack 3FingerWack and Blue Da Vinci Rat SafetyValve. We talked about it. Whack 100. I hope you don't think you're the one that exposed Blue Da Vinci. It was actually Big Meech that sent the word back, and from there, Jay Diggss got it and spread it around like wildfire. So we'll just say Jay Diggss did it. So and now we're not gonna say it like that, but Jay Diggss did put it in his music, and he been talking about it. Show the safety valve, show the paperwork, you debrief, show the debrief. J-Bo talked about it. Other people in BMF talked about it. Lil Meech talked about it and said it. Blue Da Vinci had words for Lil Meech too. We talked about it. Yeah, we discussed all of it. Big Meech, welcome home. We said that. The safety valve, we talked about that as well. That we covered everything there. We talked about it. That's number 2. Number 3, the Boys and Girls Club. They toured the Boys and Girls Club down in Vallejo, California. Very sad. Mr. Fillmore Graham, God rest his soul. God forbid he passed away. And they tore the building down. The legacy is theirs, though. We'll always remember that. We talked about it. That's number 3. Number 4, we talked about it. It's week number 6 football, NFL scores, injuries, trades. We talked about all of that. We talked about week 7, Thursday night football, and we talked about all the predictions for week 7 football this Sunday, starting with the times 6:30 in the morning, Patriots versus the Jags. We talked about it. Number NBA, number 5, we talked about what's going on with my team. And everything that's going on with the Chicago Bulls. We talked about the fake show. We talked about the Sacramento Fiends. We talked about the Golden State failures. We talked about all of that. We gonna get going. We gonna look good. We gonna do what we need to do. But we talked about it. That's number 5. Number 6, we talked about NoJumpers podcast. We talked about DB the General, and over there he got some words for one of the cuddies, speaking towards him about not being able to use the Mac Dre stamp or whatever the case, not the stamp, but the Mac Dre face on the cover with Jacka, and there was some words exchanged. We talked about that. We talked about, was he disrespectful? Do anybody feel like DB was being disrespectful? And honestly, he was paying homage. I don't feel like he was being disrespectful for me personally, but he was being disrespectful towards the Cuddy in this particular interview that he just released. When he described the Cuddy or whatever the case may be, it was some shade, it was some shots fired, and I felt like that should have been addressed behind closed doors. But again, a man do what they do. I can't tell a man how to work. I just felt like that was the shade, that was the shots fired. But other than that, no, I don't feel like DB the General was disrespecting Mac Dre at all. But we talked about it. Number 7, we talked about that. That's the federal sentencing guidelines. We talked about number 1, no harm during the offense. We talked about number 2, the person has little or no history of criminal convictions. Number 3, we talked about did the person use violence or did he have a gun? We talked about it. The person was not a leader or a organizer of the offense. We talked about that. And number 5, the person told the prosecutor or prosecutor, all that he or she knows about the offense. So you debrief, you snitch, you had to tell it all. We talked about it. Number 8, we talked about this right here, Busted by the Feds. It's a book. I'm going to get the book. The book costs $181. If you super chats and all of that adds up, man, I can go get the book tonight. We talked about it. Number 9, we talked about October 17th. 1989, 33 years ago. My mom passed away a month before this earthquake hit. We talked about it. My mama passed away September 15th, 1989. This is October 17th, 1989, a whole month later. Wow. We talked about it. Talked about 63 people unalive. Rest in peace. God forbid they sold. Rest in peace they souls. God forbid. We talked about that. We talked more about we talked about the 3,700 people that were hurt. We talked about the 10 billion in damages. We talked about that. That's number 9 on the list right there. We talked about it. Jesus, my mama. Number 10, we talked about Elon Musk and them fucking robots. Hopefully them fucking robots get knocked out of, because I've seen Terminator 1, 2, 3, and the Millennium, and I know that them robots are all bad, especially if Skynet turns on us. We're fucked. So Elon Musk, you better stop making them goddamn robots. And I'm not going to have sex with no fucking robot. Talking about the robot can please me better than a goddamn human. Bullshit, I ain't fucking no robot. What? That nigga Eli tripping. What the fuck was he thinking? You gay motherfucker. Oh, ooh, no shots fired. No shots fired. Please don't stop me, y'all. God, Lee. Please. I didn't mean to say that. Okay, community. I didn't mean to say that. Please forgive me, y'all. Don't cancel me. Because y'all could do it. Y'all will do it. We talked about number 11, the Hamas terrorist leader, Yahya Sinwar, killed in Gaza. Israel officials say. We talked about that's number 11, man. Woo, we got through it. We got through it. I'm going to get out of here for the evening. CUTTHOAT. You already know what it is. We're going to leave on the jingle. I got to go and do what I do best. Yada die, yada die, yada die. Here we go. Bye.
CUTTHOAT. It's the Cut Dope Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cut Dope Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. It's the Cut Dope Radio Podcast. CUTTHOAT. Cut Dope Radio Podcast.